Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you're new here. My name is Courtney. I am a stay-at-home mom, wife, and author. And today we are going to have a quick little chat about all of the planners, books, etc. that I used in February. So, I kind of feel like the further we go into the year, like the more I'm sort of refining things a little bit. I think at the beginning of the year I started with some other stuff, and then after the end of January I kind of was like, these things aren't working. So I'm going to either swap them out or put them aside or whatever for something new. And so yeah, now it's time to kind of reflect a little bit on February, see if there are any changes that I want to make, and if I do, what they might be. So to start with, I am going to move some of these out of the way and start with this because it is not really a planner. It is, I'm using it as a notebook. It is an A5 Kinbor Daily, I think is what it's called. I got it from AliExpress. It very much kind of dupes the setup of a Hobonichi Cousin without the weekly spreads. So you get the sort of all of the yearly stuff so that you can do some pre-planning pages where you can do some tracking if you needed to, and then it goes directly into your months, and then you get daily pages and a few blank pages at the back. How I have been using this is I have not done the reflection for for February. I'm currently filming this on Monday, March 3rd. And it's just been like a little bit of a hectic couple of days, and I have not really made the time to do it. But what I want to do is kind of do a little bit of reflection on the month of February in terms of like my energy, maybe how I was feeling a little bit spiritually. Did I say? I use this as my tarot journal. I'm not sure I said that, but, and then in these sections underneath, because you get like the sort of numbered monthlies here, and then there's some blanks sections underneath. I am just using that as an index because I'm not really paying attention to the page numbers. So I do pull a card a day, or at least I try to. This was February. You can see there are days that I missed. And then there are some days where I did not really write down anything about the card. I did write down the decks that I used here. And then you go into my monthly. So I have this calendar for the month. This is just kind of like a monthly dashboard with a calendar and a quote. I bought this on Etsy, and I just decorated it with some old like Happy Planner stickers and some washi tape. And then I just kind of go in and write things as I need. This was my spread for February. Kind of jotted a little bit down about that, and then I do spreads at the beginning of every week. So if I'm sort of feeling a little bit overwhelmed, I have been drawing an oracle card and writing a little bit about that. And then I have just a few lists kind of thrown in there. I occasionally will change up what my weekly spread looks like. I think last week I drew an oracle card for the week, and then I also did like a weekly spread. So that is how things turned out in my tarot journal for the month of February. In the back I have like some tarot cheat sheets that I got from Etsy, and then I have also been adding like some of my favorite spreads so that I don't have to look them up on my phone when I'm doing them. So this works. I just keep this out like on my table with my deck of cards. When I come in the morning, I shuffle them and pull a card, and that's that. Next, let's talk about my archive. So I wanted to, hang on. My main planning system is a personal ring planner, which means I can move things in and out of it. And I have not, as of yet, decided whether or not I'm going to keep all of my inserts for the year. Heading into 2025, I was sure that I wasn't going to keep them, and I wanted a place to archive all of that information so that if need be, I could go somewhere and pull out one book that had everything that I did or everything that I need to know for 2025. So I was really happy when Clever Fox reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to try one of their planners. So this is what I am using for my 2025 archive. This is the Weekly Hourly Planner Pro Premium Edition. And I think I've gone over this a little bit, but I have my word of the year, I have my vision board, I have my like 1 year goals in here that I took out of my A5 ring plan, or transfer that information from my A5 ring planner. I have like a mind map for my 3-month goals that I created in here. And then it just goes into my monthly. I will say that it's been a little bit challenging trying to figure out exactly how I want to use this. So I've been using, I'm trying to see, like, these are some of the bonus pages that you get after your monthly spread. So you get a monthly budget, an expense tracker, and then just kind of this dot grid page. So I am keeping track of all of my analytics for my social media on this page. And then I thought this would be a good place to just take note of some of the other things that I'm doing. So for January, I sort of had the books that I read, songs that I really enjoyed in January, a few favorite moments, and then went sort of about trying to figure how to use this thing. So for February, I have my monthly overview. At the beginning of the month, I went in and put down all of the things I knew were happening. And then over the weekend, I went in and put in all of the things that got added to the calendar as the month went on, so that I would have a full record of pretty much everything that happened that month. And I do like that idea. I added my videos, I added doctor's appointment, Zoom calls, all of the things. I added, like, my husband decided to take PTO, so I added that in. And I like that I have enough room for everything on here. I may go back in and kind of add some notes or something along the bottom, but overall I'm really happy with the way the monthly looked. And then I did my expense tracking here, analytics here, and then I didn't have a lot of stuff to add for this month. February was a bit of a dumpster fire for lots of reasons, but so I did not finish reading any books, much to my dismay, but I did add some kind of best moments or highlights of the month, which and kind of what I'm listening to now. I have a playlist for the book that I'm currently writing, so I've been listening to that almost daily actually, and then just watching the Super Bowl halftime show with Kendrick Lamar. And then I have gone in and added things that happened over the month, regular things, play practice, all of that kind of stuff. This was last week and I went into a little more detail because I had the space and I like how that looks. And then this is like the current, or last week, I'm sorry. And I've added, you can see I started adding stickers just because I have them, so there's no reason not to use them. And then there is like a monthly review and a monthly budget review, and then it goes into the next month. So the one thing that I'm considering changing about this is that initially at the beginning of the year, I thought that I would be using my standard for memory keeping, and I have not been using that at all. And I meant to like bring them up here, but I don't know what I did with them. But I have pictures printed out for this entire month. So what I think I'm going to do is go ahead and add them into my weeklies, just like I would if I were using my A5, or I'm sorry, my standard. I'm not sure if I want to add photos to the week for March, or if I want to go ahead and use these pages and just do one kind of big spread for March. I'm still considering that. You can see I've kind of whited out the information that was printed up here. It's just more expense tracking. I don't need 2 pages of expense tracking because I'm only keeping track of like my own personal expenses. So that's what I might do for this, and we shall see. But I am continuing like to update it. I'm glad that I have it. And I know what to pull out if I, want to remember if my husband's like, I thought I took PTO. When's the last time I took PTO? I know I can go in here and find it. The last time like my son had a haircut is in here, all of that sort of thing. So I am happy with the way this is progressing. Now we can move to my A5. I use this for like content and writing stuff. So I have, we'll talk about that in a minute, but I have an A5 Nulty that I am enjoying. This is what the monthly overview looks like. You get all the months at the front of the planner, which is fine for me. You can see it's very messy, and I'm okay with that. I will typically go in and write down my content in pencil, and then as it is uploaded and scheduled or whatever, I will write it in pen, like over the pencil. You can see there were a lot of things that did not happen last month just because life, you know? So this is, I do need to go back in and add some things for March that I have plotted out, but that is how my February on my monthly ended up. And then my weekly pages look like this. So often I either use them heavily or not at all. There seems to be no in between for me, and I'm not sure why that is. So you can see like this week did not really use it at all, but the next week I really relied on them heavily. And I have to remember that when I'm using my planners, I am very productive, but I get into this mindset of like, oh, I don't need to write everything. It's either, oh, I don't need to write everything down. I can remember it, which is a lie. I have a terrible memory. Or I just don't feel like dealing with it, so I'll pretend like it doesn't exist and won't look at my planner at all, which is also not super helpful. So these are how my weeklies turned out for the month of February. I can do a plan with me in like how I plan out business and content and stuff. If you're interested in that, let me know, and I will work on that for you. So that's how I use that one. It has some like grid pages in the back, lined pages that I'm using for more long-term notes and things. Then in the back, I have, or not in the back, I tuck this into the back. This is just a little A5 booklet that I ordered on Amazon. I don't know how many pages it has in it, maybe 100, probably not. And I just use these for video notes. I have another one that I use for writing specific notes. So if I'm working on my book, I can just have this with my laptop and I don't need like all of my planner stuff. So I'll have this, my laptop, and my plotting notebook, and my plotting notebook. Or if I'm just trying to work out some video stuff, I can have this with my planner without having like all of this set up with me. And then in the front, I have another one that has just like a collections journal with things that they're not like video notes per se. Like this is kind of like ideas, like if I'm editing, because like I edit in kind of 2 passes. So the first pass is like the actual edit of the video, and then the next pass is like adding any like graphics or anything that I want to add. So I might like mention something in the video and then make a note that I need to have some sort of graphic pop up on the screen in here, or making a list of anything that I want to add to the description box, anything like that, as well as like notes for specific videos, talking points, all of that kind of stuff. This is more like permanent collections, whether they be like the font I'm using on my business cards, or what do they call it? Like the color code of certain colors, like that kind of stuff is in this notebook. And then this is all, I kind of want to cut these, but I kind of don't. I don't know. But anyway, this is all in a Hobonichi cover. And if I do want to take it all out together, it's super easy to just slip these in here, or I can even slip that in the back pocket. and take it with me if I'm going out or something. So I'm still loving like the entire portability of this system and how it's not too heavy or anything like that. And now we're on to my ring system. So let's talk about like the two sort of optional things. I fell down the pocket rings rabbit hole, bought this Moterm pocket with no real like reason to have it other than like I wanted it, so I bought it. I do have a I have some notes pages and like a little inbox section. I have my actual month on 2-page calendar, and then I have lined weeklies, and I think I have up until July in here, the end of June, I think. Yeah. I do already have the whole year printed out. I also have some like trackers in here, a workout log, like all of that kind of stuff. Doctor's appointment notes and some lists. So here's the thing with this. I love this little planner. I don't need it. It is duplicating information, which I'm not opposed to, but it's not, if I'm going to duplicate information, I feel like it needs to have, there needs to be a reason why I'm doing it, not just for the sake of doing it. And this little chunker does not, it's not as productive as I would like it to be. So I'm not taking it out of my rotation, but I am going to reconsider my setup so that I'm using it efficiently. I thought like, oh, having my trackers and stuff in here would make it essential for me to at least use it every day. That's not happening. That was a lie. So I just forget to like make note of the things that I'm supposed to be tracking. So I'm not taking this out of the rotation because I do like just being able to grab this and my car keys and run out the door if I need to. Oftentimes when I am like dropping my son off at school or picking him up, I don't feel like taking my full purse, and I don't really need it. I just feel like I need to have my ID in case of emergencies, and I don't like to just have my driver's license out because I will lose it. I've lost it before. And I also like being able to have this in case I get like a text message or something. We get like regular text message blasts from our son's school, also from like the PTO kind of thing. So if there are any dates or important information that I want to write down, I like being able to especially like when I'm out, which is kind of what I'm talking about in reference to this planner. I like being able to write that message down or those dates down or whatever information down right then and there, because I am terrible at going back and like remembering to pull things out of my text messages. So this is not going anywhere for now. It's just getting a little bit of a makeover. So there's that. The other thing that I use is my A5 rings. And I am using this for goal planning. So I have my like time blocking things from the HB90 method in here, and this is like how I schedule out my week and how I'm going to work on projects, etc. And that is really all that I use this for. So I have all of my project planning, goal planning for the entire year in here. I have some just like notes and places that I can use to store information for any of my writing stuff. You can see like there's just like marketing ideas in here, newsletter ideas, all of that kind of stuff I keep housed in here, and then just like some specific project planning pages in here. I don't use this all the time. It stays in my office. I use it kind of once a month to figure out what my goals are, break everything down. And then I have been transferring this information into my personal rings, which is what I am in and out of every day. And then at the end of the month, I kind of go in and do a review of the month and all of that stuff. And then this is my main planner. It has not changed. So this is a personal ring planner. If you're new here, I use Franklin Covey compact size inserts, and it's working. I still love it. I am rethinking some things. Like I said, I have my trackers in my pocket planner. I'm considering moving them back into my personal rings, which is where I had them, I think, at the beginning of the year. I don't really know. But yeah, I have my inbox, I need to put a sticker there, my like notes pages, all of that good stuff in this section. I actually need to go through and clean out some of my notes pages. I know some things that I had in here were like February specific, and I don't need them anymore. And then my next section is my month on 2 pages. I plan monthly, weekly, and daily. I need everything to go from like big picture and get smaller as we go along in order to hold myself accountable for doing things. This is how February looked in my rings. It was sort of a busy month. We have stuff here that I did not even add in. And this is what it looks like going into March. This is just a piece of acetate that I cut down and stuck a tab on so that I could use it for sticky notes and still be able to like see things on the other side if I needed to. This is a laminating pouch that I just have. It's like a little sticky note hub. I am currently using these week on 4 page inserts from My Moxie Dreams. I have 2 weeklies, so this is kind of my big picture weekly of like appointments and whatnot. Has my tracker on the front, goals, meals, all of that stuff. And then we go into my time blocking weekly. So I have been using these week on 2 page inserts from PeanutsPlannerCo to block out time to devote to my writing and content stuff. So yeah, after I look at this weekly, I will come in here, schedule things out, mark down routines, appointments, whatever on here, and then kind of schedule my projects around that stuff. And these have been working well. These are from PeanutsPlannerCo. Not sure if I said that. I have not done it yet. And then we go directly into my dailies. For February, I was using a day on 2 pages. These are dated. They are from the Planner Room shop as well. I tend to stick to shops that I have used and been able to print double-sided with no issue. My printer is a little bit picky about things, and so it's just easier to do it that way. I wanted to use a day on 2 pages because in January I used a day on 1 page and felt like I didn't have enough room. I thought perhaps I would journal a little bit more. Some days I did, some days I did not. But I did enjoy using them. You can see these are kind of the last week, and I did not really use them. It was just a really like emotionally exhausting week, the last week of February. And then I believe for March, I am just going to go ahead and go back to my day on 1 page. I feel like if I want to journal, I have some like grid pages that I can just punch and add in as journaling pages. So maybe I'll see how that works for March, but it is one of the things that I enjoy about being in rings is that you can swap it up. My next section is my goal planning. So like I mentioned, I take the information from my A5 rings and put it here. I bought these inserts from Productive Lab Co. She has a channel on YouTube called Hellenistique. I will link it in the description box below for you. So you break down sort of your key action steps for each goal here. I took some also from my A5, and then for the month, I used this week on 1 page from PeanutsPlannerCo and just used it as a place to kind of have my overall goals and kind of block each goal out with color. Then I just made some notes of kind of what my goals were, tasks associated with them. And then for my action steps, I use this insert. I believe it's part of the list bundle from Planner Room Shop. And you can see February was not great for me for productivity because and I won't even say it was like my mental health. I do suffer from I have a general anxiety disorder. I also have depression, and then just some other stuff. So I don't even know if it was like, well, my anxiety was really high in February, not gonna lie about that, but just like overall emotionally, there was a lot happening in February that kind of threw me a bit off track in terms of working towards my goals. So I do have this February review. This is on the week on 1 page. Do I have a blank? So it looks like this. I just kind of whited out the days of the week and I'm just using it as little horizontal boxes. So I want to review how I did or progress I made in each of these categories, and then on the back I have my March goals for each category, and then this week's action steps, which I have not put in yet because I wanted to get this video filmed. This is a YouTube log. It is a freebie from Helen as well. You can write down the videos that you use every month and kind of some analytics. I use this and kind of make scratch notes on it as needed to transfer that information into my A5. That way I don't have to lug all the planners around with me. I did, and this is kind of my personal section, so I have these bitch list inserts from Vixie Plans, which have been nice. There's been a lot of stuff to bitch about as of late. I have my like spending log, my order tracker, and a savings log in here. I also have like some passwords and whatnot in this section as well. This is my reading section, which I did not read anything in February, so there's that. I may be taking this out. I'm not sure. And then I just have like sheets of books to add to my never-ending TBR list. I have a section for my kid. It just has his school calendar. This fold out that I'm using to track his sick days, like his doctor's information, a health log, a doctor visit log, all of that stuff. For my home section, I have this reoccurring task list. It has sort of cleaning tasks on it that are reoccurring, personal tasks that are reoccurring, declutter list I need to update, and then I also do my monthly meal plan. I did not use any cookbooks for February, which is what I'm tracking here. I just did not pick any up. So this was January's, this was February's, and I have not made one for March, which I'm also planning on doing this evening. This has kind of been working for me. At least it gives me an idea of things that I make or are easy for me to make, to pull from. We don't always eat those things on those days. I tend to, which I did not do a lot of this month, but I will just make my grocery list from the things that I have planned out. And then once we eat those, I just check them off so I know like those ingredients are gone. We actually ate that. We ate that. We ate that. We ate that. Oh, we did not eat that. But yeah, there are a few things on here like the stir fry. We still have the, like, you buy the veggies and the sauce or whatever and put it in the freezer. That is still in the freezer. So we could have that this week. So yeah, when I'm making the next month's plan, well, that's what I did for January. I went back and looked at the things that I hadn't cooked and took inventory of the things that we still had and kind of, you know, moved them, migrated, that's the word I'm looking for, migrated them to the next month. So, and then I just keep like a running list of things that I need to add to the grocery list when I put in the grocery order. Recipes to try, I have not written any of those down, and then that's just for the end of the year. So my main system is still working. There are some things that I'm considering changing out, but I'm not sure, because if it's working, do I really want to mess with it too much? Probably not. But yeah, that is it for this video. February chugged along with a few bumps in the road, but here we are. It's March. Spring is coming. The days are getting longer, the sun is out more. I am living for that. But yeah, if you watch this entire video, I appreciate you spending some of your day with me. If you'd like to see more, don't forget to click the subscribe button down below, turn on your notifications, do all of the YouTubey things, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.